So this is the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and I've had it a whole year. Let's go ahead and discuss this Galaxy S24 Ultra 1 year later. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome back to the channel. The Galaxy S24 Ultra, the first thing I want to talk about it a year later is, was it worth the price? And the answer was absolutely. This I called the best phone of 2024, and I do feel that I got my money's worth, and I'll tell you a few reasons. We'll start with the cameras. So I have a really long zoom lens on here. We do have really good performance on pretty much every camera category that you can find on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But the real deal is that the versatility, the feature set, along with the quality of it, just really set this one apart from the competition. If I go over here to more, you'll see in One UI 3 beta or One UI 7 beta 3, you'll see that we do have ourselves a lot of nice feature sets over here: night mode, pro videos, pro expert raw, dual recording, and the list goes on. Now I tend to really like pro video here because you can really set this up to be a very professional video camera right here for a phone. So it's pretty amazing. Attach your own external microphone and you could have really high quality video. That is pretty amazing. Now over here, portrait mode is good, but super long optical zooms is also, we do have really long zoom. I think OnePlus goes 120 now on the zoom, but still Samsung does a really good job in this department. In addition, we do have 4K at 120 in the pro mode, and we do have 8K recording capabilities on here. So 1 year later, that's one of the main things that really made me feel this was worth the price, was the camera. The next thing was the battery. The battery was a 5,000 milliamp, but not the largest out there, but it still tended to have pretty good battery life. So I was easily making it through a day and then some with the Galaxy S24 Ultra. Plus it has quite a few battery modes that you don't find in every other phone out there. In the power saving sections, you can get really granular with your controls here on how you're going to go ahead and set up your battery saving. So you see you have a limit CPU, turn off always on display, decrease brightness. I mean, there's a lot going on here. So lots of fun things to play around with there to try to get even better battery out of your day. However, there are phones that have beat this one since this came out in battery, but that was definitely one of the reasons it was worth the price. In addition, it was one of the only phones with an anti-reflective coating. So after a year, that's just my lighting you're seeing over there. Of course, that's going to reflect, that's really bright. But the reflection, while it did make it look a little bit less vibrant for those Samsung vivid, saturated, vibrant lovers of Samsung displays, it still did offer a vivid mode after Samsung heard your complaints, and then it got much more vivid. You could crank that slider up. But generally, it was a more toned down, professional looking display. And when I say professional, like a little bit more accurate, like professionals probably would like this more than the average consumer who likes a more saturated or vibrant looking display. This panel right here was one of the main reasons. Pretty thin bezels, although it wasn't the thinnest out there, as I think the 16 Pro Max now has thinner bezels. But overall, for those few reasons, definitely worth the price. The build was also very nice. The titanium build that came here held up very well, very durable, and I thought it looked a lot nicer than some of the older curved displays with the flat panel on the S24 Ultra. I'm so happy it's fully flat now, and I don't want to go back to curved displays for the Samsung. I definitely really prefer this flat panel. So when it comes to the performance, it's been really good. While this doesn't have the Snapdragon 8 Gen Elite that just came out, or 8 Elite, did I say 8 Gen? 8 Elite that came out and is coming out on the S25 Ultra tomorrow, it's still plenty fast for the day-to-day, and I don't even think that chip's going to really change your smartphone experience too much besides having more efficiency. I still am looking forward to it. But what I'm saying is this phone is still definitely future-proofed with the 8 Gen 3 on board. There just really wasn't no major performance issues, and it's one of the years where Samsung is really going to town with performance was the past S24 and S23 series. So it's been really good on this side of town. Also, I do have to say that the One UI 3 has improved animations and it just looks smoother than ever. It has this nice app switching tray now. So definitely, I'm a big fan of where Samsung is going with their software. Feature rich, smooth, and fast. It's fun. It really is a fun experience these days to be using this product right here. So I'm going to say on the performance a year later, it actually got better over time than when it came out. It also really never had any major lags or stutters or app closings for a lot of the things I was using. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be the case for everyone, but that's what I experienced. I will say from an update perspective, Samsung definitely did update this phone quite a bit, and I'm on the beta right now, which has also been being updated pretty quickly. And I'm looking forward to seeing the official version, but it's been running really good here on the beta. As you've been seeing in my speed tests, it's just really been very, very strong. So Android 15, One UI 7, Beta 3, it's been pretty good. Can't wait to see where we go forward from here. There's definitely going to be more features introduced and probably more bug fixes at the same time. The software also now looks a little bit more consistent across the board. It has the Now bar. It also has a vertical app tray now, which is really nice to see on Samsung devices. The translucent effects look pretty good. You can swipe from the right. You'll see all your features right there. Also, you still retain some of Samsung's best features like their one-handed mode, which you can swipe down and make this really small. Very good. Edge panels are on board in addition to split screen and pop view windows, which really make this phone just a joy to use in terms of not feeling like you ever have to not have a feature you don't want. They always have the feature that you're thinking about or want on this phone. In addition to that, if you hold down, of course, you retain all of the Galaxy ecosystem themes and stuff of that sort that's been being built over time. So generally, this phone is just getting better and better. And now that we have generative AI wallpapers along with generative AI features with the Galaxy AI, you'll see that this phone is just further increasing its value. And I do think that's going to lead to price increases down the line. However, I have to say that they're definitely giving you a lot for the money here compared to some competition. It just doesn't feel like you're sacrificing in any area on this phone. So that's one of the things I really loved about it. I think I've talked about this before. But a year later, I feel like this is the best phone I've used in the past 365 days or so. Now, while this doesn't have the worst battery life here, it does have some of the slower charging speeds out there. Not as slow as what I find on the iPhone experience, but definitely slower than OnePlus and other Chinese brands and other brands out there. Some of them just have faster charging. Actually, a lot of them do. Samsung is somewhere in between. They do pretty good. They're faster than Apple devices to charge, but they're not as quick as OnePlus. They're not as quick as some Xiaomi products. They're not as quick as even some mid-rangers can charge faster than this phone. So I think they're kind of trying to balance a pretty fast charge with longevity with the battery performance. And I'm not too mad at that. This still does have reverse wireless charging and wireless charging, so you could put a product on the back here to charge. But generally, I would like to see the option for a faster charging experience going forward. That's something I would like to see improve. Durability and quality has been superb a year later. The whole phone, I love how it just doesn't show any fingerprints. It makes it one of my favorite phones to use. I have nearly zero OCD with these type of phones now because they don't really show scratches too often unless you take a really big hit. You'll probably dent it or something like that if you take a really strong hit or maybe little tiny bit of damage. But they're very sturdy now, and this one was no exception. The glass back, of course, is glass, so it can crack if you hit it in the wrong angle. Although it doesn't really kind of feel like glass, it definitely is. So you can definitely crack that. But I definitely kept this in a case. There's only one thing I noticed. I actually did end up getting some damage right up here in the top right corner. Let me see if the camera can pick that up. Let me get a little bit closer there. And you could see right up in there. I mean, I know I'm being picky, but there's a little scuff right there. I tried to clean it with some polish. Didn't really get it. And I think I got another little tiny piece of damage down here. I know I'm being very ridiculous here, but there is something right there. I'm very OCD about this stuff. Hold on, got out of focus there. Let's go ahead and do it again. And you'll see right, can you see it? It's right there. Like that little piece right there. That's a perfect angle. That bothers me. So, I don't know. I think it's the way them corners curve a little bit. Like at the corners, they just curve a little bit. And I think that caused it. I think there's a little one up here in the top left as well. It could be from my table, from putting this phone face down on the table. But that's definitely something I wasn't a major fan of, but it's not really a big deal. It's just I'm being very picky about that. Definitely, I don't like that. So a thing I don't talk about too much is the gaming performance because I'm not a major gamer, but I do test them for videos and to check the heat and stuff. And I got to tell you that the heat performance on here is much better than I find on the 16 Pro Max. It's similar to like what I see on a OnePlus phone. Definitely, I think that's a little better than here as well, but this has really, really good heat management. You could play extended gaming sessions and it's not really going to cause any major issues with the games. So this has been superb in this area. Now, one area I'm seeing them might be going away from is the Bluetooth S Pen support. And so that's going to lead me into talking about the S Pen. I haven't used it as much as I did in prior years this year, but I still appreciate the ability to jot down a quick note and to use this sometimes to point out certain things. I do like write on calendar sometimes, and it does sync very well with your Samsung Galaxy tablet if you have one. Also, it can sync well with other Samsung products that do have the calendar-based app, and you have all the Samsung Cloud stuff synced up, maybe like Galaxy Books and tablets. So definitely it can be useful if you keep everything in sync, but if you don't and you're just using like Google Calendar, then this is not going to be more than a pointer tool. But you can definitely draw and things like that, and it still adds value to the phone. But a lot of people have been saying, I don't use that pen so much, and I hope that Samsung doesn't take too much stock in that because they're probably going to remove the pen eventually if people keep saying things like that. But generally, I still love that this one includes this because it really sets it apart. It makes it feel like it just has something extra that other phones just don't have. So a year later, the audio performance has been pretty good as well. We do have the Dolby Atmos mode, and you'll see we have auto, movie, music, and voice. I also picked up the Galaxy Buds Pro 3 on a Black Friday discount deal, and let me tell you, these things have been amazing, even though they kind of look similar to another headphone out there, and I know you know what I'm talking about. They have some distinction. They're a little bit sharper here in the corners. They light up when you pull them out, and they definitely do have really good noise canceling and audio quality, I would say, for the price. So definitely I've been enjoying this, and the combination with this, good connectivity. The phone itself does have pretty good audio that fires off the speakers as well. This phone doesn't have an IR blaster though, so if you are looking to control your TV's audio and channels and things like that, you're not going to find it here on this product. One thing I did notice over the year though is that if you don't have a case on it, this phone does have a little bit of rock there on the table, especially because the cameras stick off the body right there, so that is something to keep in mind. But it's generally a very sleek looking, practical and functional product that definitely looks nothing like anything out there because of its pure rectangle. Some people think this looks very different and premium compared to the rest of the market. 1 year later, does this have the longevity, the future-proof feel that I think Samsung was going for here? And I would say yes. I feel like I could use these cameras in like 4 years from now and they're still going to be amazing. I feel like this phone is still going to feel super nice in 3-4 years from now. It does have a lot of software updates coming, and I just don't see it feeling like a super old phone. I feel like they're just going to generally evolve this phone. And just like you could pick up a S22 Ultra today, and that looks really nice, I feel like 3-4 years down the line, this is going to feel very nice as well. So it still has many software years support left, and I think they made a really strong future-proof device here. That's how I feel a year later. After using this, it feels like I just got it a little while ago. It doesn't even feel old. So I really love that about this product right here. So being my last review before seeing the new Galaxy Unpacked event tomorrow, I do have to say that this has been the best phone I've used since it came out. I don't feel like anything else that has come out after this has made me feel like it's better than this phone. And that's saying a lot. I also still feel the same way as I felt last year in 2024 when I mentioned that this was the best phone of the year. I understand that was only a few weeks ago, but we have had new rumors and new phones have launched since then. And I still think this phone is holding its own. And I still think it's going to continue to do so for the rest of this year. There's also going to be a great pickup for those of you who want to get this used now that it's going to become cheaper on a secondhand market as the S25 series launches this year. So definitely this has been great a year later. There's just really, it's hard to find with this product. And I think this is the first year this has ever happened, but it's really hard to find a fault with this product. Like you can complain that, oh, it's unergonomic and the size is too big. But you got to remember, if you're saying that, you're not the target customer. The person buying this phone already knows what they're getting. They know they're getting a massive phone. So that's not really a problem for them. It also does have SIM card support, unlike the 16 Pro Max. So definitely, I don't see too many issues. Maybe they can improve the RAM though. 12 gigs of RAM, they can go to 16 GBs of RAM, even 24 if they want to top the competition. But other than that, it's been a thumbs up across the board. And I do really, really love the Galaxy S24 Ultra. They can always improve camera hardware. They can always make the battery bigger. They can even make the screen size bigger down the line because people that buy this phone love large screens. So I'd like to see like a 7-incher in the future. But all across the board, this phone has been fantastic a year later. Let me know your thoughts on this one down below. Are you picking it up one after the Unpacked event? Are you selling this off? Are you trading this in for credit and you've had enough of this one? Let me know down below. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. I'll catch you on the next episode. Be sure to be well and peace.